everybody. It's around 6:30 in the morning here in New Hampshire. I hope everybody's doing well. As you can see, I did make some coffee here. I'm going to give it a good taste test before we get started. I put a hazelnut creamer in there and some Splenda. But welcome back if you're back, and welcome to the channel, everybody, if you're new. So I don't think I've done one of these in a little while. Probably maybe a week or so. And not much has happened, but some stuff has happened, so I'm just gonna do kind of like a catch-up ramble here, as well as talk about the time that a coworker thought I was autistic and basically confronted me about that, which was pretty funny. I guess we'll just get right into that story. So, a couple years ago, I was working in Maine, at a middle school in Maine, and one of the special ed teachers, by like the last day, or one of the last days I was working there, he basically, ushers me into his room, and he was a nice guy. He really was. He actually co-taught with me my first year there, but he ushers me into his room, and we also like worked out together, because he was like, he was trying to get, I guess, buff or something, I don't know, so we worked out a bit, but he ushers me into his room, and it's in the back of the school, because he's working with the special ed kids. So I walk down the long hallway, and I get to his room, and we sit down, and he starts talking about, like, I don't want you to take I don't want you to take this the wrong way. I just want to ask you a question. Have you ever thought of yourself being autistic? And immediately, I was like, what the heck? I didn't say that, but in my mind, I was very kind, obviously. And I said, no, I never really believed that I was autistic or whatever. And he said, I don't know, maybe you should, check it out or something like that. The meeting didn't last very long, obviously, because after you, tell somebody that you think they're autistic, you immediately are like, I don't know where this meeting's going. It's not like we're going to talk about baseball or something after that, so. Anyway, yeah, it was a pretty funny story. I never really think I am autistic. I think I'm just a normal person, right? So I have taken like an autistic test. I think after that guy said that, and I'm just like, no, you're not autistic. So anyway, I don't know where that guy got that idea from, but it's different, you're a different person when you work sometimes. So, maybe at work I was giving off autistic vibes, but I don't think I'm autistic. Anyway, talking about the rest of my week that has happened since the last catch-up was, so I took basically this week off from like going into the school and working on stuff. I took about, I think, around 2 weeks off at the end of the school year to just relax, and then summer school started, and then I basically worked every day when summer school started, including working on my other curriculum stuff, and then I would be going into the school a lot after summer school ended, so much so that the person who was working on like setting up the classrooms started talking to me about that. So I decided to basically take a week cinematic universe, and the battle was pretty cool. Just to, those two nations basically battling it out was pretty cool. And then after that, I watched Thunderbolts, which I haven't seen, which I also thought was a really good movie, because it had a central theme of basically, I guess, depression and grief and how to deal with that, which I thought was pretty cool. It wasn't just like a beat 'em up Marvel movie; it actually had a theme in it. And then yesterday, I just watched Brave New World, and I thought that was decent. It was not as good as the other two, and it was much more of like, this is just a Marvel movie, I guess. It was nothing to me special. I think Wakanda Forever was special because it dealt with grief. And then the other one, which I just mentioned, which I'm forgetting right now, but Thunderbolts was good because it dealt with depression. It dealt with something, right? It had a message. The other one, this one really didn't have a message at all. It was just kind of like which is not bad, but it was just like a regular Marvel movie. And after watching those first two, it felt a little lackluster to me. I do think Thunderbolt Ross, Harrison Ford being Thunderbolt Ross, is pretty good though. And I'm excited to see where they go with it. I don't know if he's going to be in Avengers Doomsday or not, but it'd be cool to see the Red Hulk in Avengers Doomsday. But I have went to a Red Sox game too. As you can see, I'm wearing the Red Sox gear, and we went to the game on Friday, which was the first return of Rafi Devers, and I did boo him. I did suss out the situation beforehand, and I did decide to boo him. Why not? It's fun. But he went up to bat, I think 4 times in that game, and the third time he hit a homer. So, that's all good, I guess. They swept the Giants. It was a good game. We won 6-4. And Wilson Contreras, I think, hit a 3-run homer in that game. We were sitting right behind some Giants fans. So it was pretty fun to have like them cheering for them and us cheering for the Red Sox. But that was a long night. I went with my family, and we got there a little late. We missed the first half of the first inning. So we missed Rafi Devers' first at bat because he was batting second. And we left there. I don't know, want to say like 9 or 10. Excuse me. And then we stopped at McDonald's. I got some McFlurries, and we ended up traveling back, getting back around 1. So it was a long kind of night, but it was a good night. We're planning on getting better seats. We were in the quote-unquote, I guess, bleachers. It's like general admission seats way in the outfield. We want to try and get some seats along like the third baseline, a little closer to the action, which are going to be around $200, but the plan is to kind of look around, get the cheapest good seats we can, and maybe even spend the night there, like at a hotel. Go to like a day game, get a hotel, go to some bars after, and then sleep at a hotel and leave on Sunday, which I think would be pretty cool. But that's the plan for next year. And you forget how good Red Sox games are. I didn't go to one last year. I try to go to at least one every year. I don't know why I wasn't able to get to one last year, but I was unable to get to one last year. And you just forget how fun they are. Fenway is like a special place. And it's just a different atmosphere, especially night games. that's to keep the Holy Bible like away from like evil people, I guess. So you have this man hunting for the book, and Eli's trying to protect it. It's a really good movie. I haven't seen it. I'm not gonna spoil it or anything. It's pretty violent if you don't like violence, but it's a good movie. And then I did go for a run as well, and I'm training for a half marathon October 4th in Portland. And my sister bet me a dinner that I wouldn't run it, so I did 3.1 miles yesterday, and I am going to try to run today. It looks a little rainy, but I do have a gym membership, so even though I have to, I should probably just go to the gym and run. I don't like running on a treadmill, though. Treading on a treadmill kind of sucks, but it would be cool to get some running in today, too. I have been reading my Immortal Hulk book. It's pretty good. And I did order Spider-Man Craven's Last Hunt, which I am gonna do an unboxing video for. But today I'm just gonna go and basically set up my classroom, and it should be good. And I got some popcorn I'm gonna eat and watch Wolverine and Deadpool, or Deadpool and Wolverine tonight, and that's my plan for today. So today is get my popcorn. I ordered a Walmart pickup, so I got some food. Get that today, then go to the school, start setting up my classroom, and then either go to the gym or hopefully be able to just run from the school. My plan for training for this half marathon is to just, end of school, change, run at the school pretty much, because the school has like this kind of loop that's around 0.75 miles a loop. So I can run a few of those loops and then hop in the car and go home, or like go and get my grading done. But I think the best thing to do would be after school would be to run, even if it's like as a break, but just run, get my run in for that day, and then get my grading in later or something. School, teachers know, but grading's a pain, and I think the best way to deal with it is to have a constant routine. So gonna have a routine to get my grading done and my running done, and then just go home and do it all again throughout the week. But so my plan is today to go get my Walmart pickup. There's no like refrigerator or frozen food, so just go right to the school, start setting up my classroom. Once I put in a few hours into that, run, come back here. I want to clean up my room. My room's got like a couple Amazon boxes I want to get rid of, and other crap I want to kind of clean up and declutter. And then maybe read some Immortal Hulk, or watch Deadpool, Wolverine, and then read the Immortal Hulk. And I did my laundry yesterday already, so that's all good. But it should be a decent day, I think. I think the Red Sox play today too. I don't know when though. But I'll see what they're like too. We're 3 games back behind the Yankees for the last wild card spot, and I'm not sure how many games we have left. Maybe 30, maybe less. So I really hope that we can make the playoffs, because we made it last year, and you'd think we'd make it again this year. We are missing player crochet with an injury, but he said he would be able to come out of the bullpen if he needs to. And that'd be great because he's a beast. That'd be really awesome. But I am really excited for my Walmart pickup. I got a couple things of everything, bagels and some peanut butter. And the one thing I always kind of miss is breakfast because I can't go downstairs and use the stove or whatever. I don't feel comfortable doing that, so I did buy an air fryer, and I can actually toast my bagels in the air fryer. So the plan is to basically have peanut butter and bagels for breakfast, as well as oatmeal, so I can kind of switch it up. One thing I cannot wait for, though, once I get my own apartment, though, is to be able to cook eggs again. I used to cook eggs a lot, and just be able to cook, I guess, on the stovetop. I do have a rice cooker, which allows me to cook oatmeal, and I'm going to try to cook boxed mac and cheese as well in the rice cooker. Apparently you can do that, so my, Rolodex of food I'm able to cook in my room is actually, I guess, okay, right? I get an air fryer, which is basically an oven, and a toaster, and I now have I can cook rice and oatmeal and mac and cheese in my rice cooker, so I'm not gonna, be too mad about that because it is cheap living here and I am saving money, which is the point. I think I am gonna live here one more year to save as literally much money as I can, so that when I do buy a new place, I'll have like some more options, I guess. The plan would be to buy a house or to be able to put a down payment on a house, but I don't know if that's going to be a viable option until I find like a situation where I can, know I'm living here for, I don't know, 10 years, I don't know. So, but yeah, I think my unfiltered rambling mind is pretty much done. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. If you did stick around to the end of the video, props for you. But I think I'm gonna call it. And I hope you all have a good rest of your day, and everybody is doing well and stays well, and is healthy. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.